Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dova back with East African Affairs, bringing you an update on the situation in Ethiopia. The U.S. State Department just released their annual human rights report around the world, and it shed light on some of the human rights violations that have been going on in Ethiopia's Tigray and Oromia regions, as well as in the rest of Ethiopia. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken on Tuesday said that we are seeing human rights abuses in the killings, sexual assaults, and other atrocities credibly reported in Ethiopia's Tigray region. The report indicates that although there was some positive changes following Abiy's assumption to office in 2018, there's recently been an increase in ethnic tension and violence. On November 4th, for example, the ENDF and the TPLF began the protracted conflict in Tigray we are seeing today that has seen serious reports of widespread human rights abuses. The report goes on to specifically list human rights issues that have been going on in Tigray, including indiscriminate killings, arbitrary arrests, torture, sexual violence, harassment, suppression of free expression, corruption, and ethnic violence, among others. The State Department reports very limited access to Tigray, which is resulting in a general lack of reporting on the entirety of the human rights abuses in the region. But recently, a lot of these human rights violations have been coming to light little by little as the international community and the international media has been turning their attention slowly to the conflict. The report also found that millions of Ethiopians all over the country have been displaced from their homes over the past year, many of them, or most of them, I should say, fleeing due to violent conflict. The report highlights many of the flaws or failures of the Ethiopian government, particularly its inability or unwillingness to prosecute officials who committed human rights abuses, which has resulted in this atmosphere of impunity for abusers that we are seeing today in Tigray as well as in the rest of the country. The report also notes the assassination of prominent Oromian singer and activist Hachalu Hundessa in late June of 2020, and it gives an account of the violence, riots, arrests, and killings that followed in the days after his death. As mentioned in the report, several opposition leaders have been arrested during this time and are still in detention awaiting trial, most notably the Oromo political activist and opposition leader Jawar Mohammed. The report concludes that Ethiopian, Eritrean, and TPLF forces, as well as other parties, have all committed human rights violations and abuses, including extrajudicial killings, sexual assaults, forced displacement of civilian populations, and even torture. With regards to the situation in Tigray, throughout the report, it's consistently made clear that the conflict is not constrained to only affecting soldiers and combatants, but instead the raping, violence, and killings have been arbitrarily targeted at civilians, especially women, and it's resulting in widespread destruction, displacement, and instability in the region. While it doesn't offer any concrete solutions to these issues, it does highlight the injustices that we're seeing ongoing in the country. I'm sure most of the pro-Abiy government supporters are going to disregard the contents of this report, but I think it's worth seeing what the United States has to say on this, because even though historically they have not had a great human rights record, we do know that the Biden administration, coming off of 4 years of Trump, who did not give a single damn about human rights anywhere in the world, let alone in the United States, they are looking to sort of rebuild the international image of the United States, and they believe that pursuing a human rights agenda, one that looks to be a problem solver, be an asset to the world in mitigating these human rights situations that can be so horrible, they look to do that. They're interested in doing that. So, interesting new report. I will provide a link to it in the description below if you want to take a look yourself, and stay tuned for future updates. Thank you for watching.